right, guys, we are back for Saga 4. If you have not watched the other episodes, we have already done these 3 sagas in the last episode, and before that we did all 5 books.
You really need to just stop and go watch those videos, because this is just getting more confusing and none of it will make sense if you don't watch the other 2 videos.
And we're bringing in a lot of Norse mythology because we've studied a little bit of Norse mythology on date nights. And
hold on. This is our Norse mythology chart that Foyers had bought a few after we read our...
Awesome, because I knew Frostborn was going to
Okay, so I'm going to consult it as we read.
All right.
It's not going to make any background noise at all.
Yeah. Yep. It's loud.
Okay. Saga 4. Oh, wait.
Let's read the saga.
Okay. Saga 4, Prophecy. That's a cool picture.
Yeah.
Each day, Hel would listen to many prophecies, but there was one that frightened her the most. I also like to listen to prophecies every day.
Every day.
It's just funny.
Yeah.
It's your daily prophecy.
Daily prophecy. That's what it is. There's probably,
prophecy a day.
Lots of seers.
Your angry god siblings away. That was really dumb.
That was pretty clever, though.
Okay. It was foretold by Ingra, one of the oldest witches, and it said, "The All-Father in human form will cast you out to the depths of Helheim, from which you came into this world." Old guy in a cart. That's all I'm saying. "The eternal day that allows no one to hide from your gaze will play a cruel joke on you, my lady. The light will blind you, and the gods will be saved by the one you consider an aphid on the spring grass." Who's that?
I don't know.
"Asgard's call will deafen you, and Thor will mount his wolf and lead the army created by people. Trust me, Thor remembers every lash delivered by the envoys. He is laughing right now. He knows Loki will be the cause of everything yet again." Oh, Loki will escape. "I am looking into the cauldron and I see. A raven is flying toward a tower. Odin is coming for you. He is not in a hurry, but his every step proves my words. You know me, my lady. I would never lie. You were my mother, my sister, and my daughter. Why would I lie?"
It's confusing.
Also very Norse mythological, though.
Yes, but that family tree is like...
a circle.
Yeah, so maybe like one of those... what are the brushes, like in...
Tumbleweed?
Tumbleweed.
Yes.
I think it's a tumbleweed family tree.
"You live in your citadel and listen to Freya crying. Every day you cut off her fingers, but all that is no more than mischief compared to what she will do to you and your daughters. Have you lost your gift of foresight? Believe me, all the witches here will face the fate even Loki himself would not be able to devise. May he be damned. You may laugh and think that I've lost my mind, and I have, but it does not prevent me from seeing all that exists." And so it begins. Odin has already stolen the drained body of Loki, who had chosen the wrong place and the wrong time for his trick. The great glacier has moved, and the blood of the powerless god has started flowing through the mortals' veins. They may be weak now, but if you don't intervene, we will go back to Helheim. It will truly be the best of Loki's tricks. I'm confused.
I'm impressed.
Does our chart say anything?
No, the chart just has the family tree. Let's see if we can find any of the witches, but they're not on here.
Yeah, the witches aren't on here.
So...
But where is Hel?
Hel would be in this line, probably.
But they said she was Loki's daughter.
Hel is Loki's daughter? That actually might be right. Yep, she is.
Okay, so she is Loki's daughter.
So Loki couldn't have had a child with Hel. It's his daughter. I guess he could have, but that's weird.
Well, I mean, that's another video.
But that makes Marvel. Shame on you, Marvel.
I mean, yeah. Okay.
All right.
But mystery solved.
Okay, so now we are moving on to Saga 5, which you have to do Odin's and the archives. This is the hardest book to get, or the hardest books combination to get so the hardest saga. And so book 5 goes like this. About a king. When King Sigurd was asked what news his Pathfinder had brought from the walls of Hel's citadel, The king had to tell the truth. The Pathfinder saw Oraf, the king's son. He was held prisoner by Hell's servant. Then the Konung warriors proposed a plan for rescuing him. I don't know who the Konung warriors are.
Right,
but
yeah.
The citizens knew Oraf's story. Many months ago, when Valhalla fell on the horizon, the people gained immortality. He left his home with nothing but his axe, and no one had seen him since. The Konung kept silent during the expedition. He was pondering whether Hel could control human life, whether she could control immortality, and if she snapped her fingers and all of the warriors died, what if Oraf died? Then the king and his bodyguards reached Hopeless Gorge, which was halfway to the Dark Citadel. The rumor about any armor of Draugrs having formed here had already cleared. Sigurd ordered to set up camp. He didn't feel tired, but he couldn't think of riding on a wolf. Hel was waiting for his sleep to sneak up on him. She came to Sigurd in a nightmare, bringing Oraf with her. "Oh, my king, I know how much you wanted to see your son." Hel's voice was grating and it hurt his ears. "I am giving you this opportunity. You feared that something had happened to him, and he settled nicely into my abode. See?" Sigurd shuddered and looked at the horizon with Hel's citadel black pike towering over it. "You were wondering if I could control immortality. Now you can see that I can, in a way." Hel put her arm around Oraf as if he was her son. "You walked right into our trap, father," Oraf said, smiling. "In troubled times, a wise king shouldn't risk himself, not even for his heir." Hel pulled Oraf down as a mother would. They vanished, and his parting words hovered in the air. "The fog is creeping over your people. Wake up." The fog had indeed descended upon the camp. Hordes of the undead were coming from the citadel. There were so many Draugrs that they would sometimes get in each other's way and stop. However, Sigurd refused to believe that his son could betray him. He no longer wanted to believe in either gods or people. He was going to talk to his son face to face in the citadel that had become his abode.
All right, so we got a showdown.
Yeah. And Hel's got a lot of Loki vibes.
She does. Still no Odin, though.
Yeah, Odin, King Sigurd's just a
normal dude.
an immortal. I guess everyone's immortal now.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So, but, or not everyone, because the guards say they're not immortal. Some of the guards in the city, but maybe they actually
just
are.
the warriors.
Maybe they changed that. Maybe they changed. I don't know if everyone's immortal, because I don't know if they changed the script in Newheim. I played this game for so long that the storyline has changed a few times. And so I think that
it's a lot like Norse mythology too.
it's true. All right, guys, so we are now on the last saga, and in order to get this last saga, you have to turn in all the other 5 sagas.
Oh, wow.
So that means you had to do everything, like a lot to get books. You had to get 10 books.
Can you buy these books?
No. You can mark some of the locations to get some of the pages to turn them in for books.
Got it. Okay.
But
can you trade them?
Yeah, you can trade.
Okay.
So we got the sagas. Turn in all 5 of them, all of the stories that we've read in the last 2 episodes, this episode and last episode. You had to turn in those other books, multiple copies of those books to get those sagas. And now we are getting all of that to get the final saga, the end of the story called The Return. Am I hyping this enough?
We'll see after we read it. Check out Odin. Look at him like
Dude,
one-eyeing you. That's hilarious.
He's awesome. And he's got the Valhalla symbol on his workout headband.
That.
And he's got Hugin or
what's the bird?
Runin. Well, there's 2 of them. There should be 2 of them. I don't know why. His scouts, Hugin and Munin. Yeah, they're on there.
Oh, yep. Odin's ravens.
He should have 2.
Yeah, he does.
Artist, you really failed on this one. You really should have.
Hugin and Munin.
Hugin and Munin.
Hugin and Munin.
So,
okay.
Where's Munin? Maybe he's on a mission.
Maybe that is Munin.
Or maybe, yeah, then where's Hugin?
We're spending way too much time on this. Okay.
Are we?
Newheim will fall. Don't try to change the fate. The Norns lied, and their lies were woven from white threads. Standing in front of them, Odin was reading their lips. Hell fears your return. Odin felt weak. The Norns felt it too. Otherwise, they wouldn't have dared to lie. The Allfather had a long road home ahead of him. Newheim, the town that was built by the mortals while he was living in seclusion, would be destroyed unless he returned where he had sworn never to set foot. With the acquired wisdom but heavy thoughts, he walked for many days and nights. The path lied through haunted gorge that Hel marked as the border of her kingdom. It was a difficult road, and when his feet were already covered in blood, he was not even halfway there. Many days had passed before he saw Newheim on the horizon. A formidable figure was standing at the gates. It was a warrior wearing heavy armor. When Odin finally approached him, he said that he had a good reason to break his vow. They shook hands, and the warrior felt the wisdom the Allfather had gained in his travels.
Okay, so the gorge they're talking about is, I guess, right here, because they're talking about between the citadel. And what's a little lame is that it only takes 9 seconds to get there. Like, maybe, or from Newheim, maybe it's a little bit more. Let's see. Well, I do have a horse, so, and obviously he didn't have a horse, so maybe I should dismount. But it's just a 17-second. And so halfway through that, at 8 seconds, is when his feet started bleeding. That bad.
That's
in
funny.
this story. Just to make sure everyone knows, like,
Yeah,
8 seconds,
and his feet are already
feet are bleeding everywhere. And he still has 8 seconds to go. Okay? But maybe he didn't have a horse, so let's say 30 seconds.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I just want everyone to know the perspective of why his feet were bleeding. He had been traveling for at
least 8 seconds.
At least 8 seconds.
Possibly 15.
There we go.
They walked to the square. There was a statue of him there, and Odin laughed upon seeing it. "Is that really what my nose looks like?" he asked his companion. The companion was taken aback, but when he saw a smile on the elder god's face, he smiled back. Oh, look, they had a moment.
Aw, it's so sweet.
So, wait, who's his companion?
Okay, so here's the statue, and it's totally a fraud. This is a bunk story. Because look, you can't see Odin's nose. It's covered by a helmet. And the gear looks just like one of us.
This is confusing.
So, yeah, this isn't working. Founder statue. Look, there's no nose visible. You see this?
Are you sure that's the right statue?
It's the statue in the middle of Newheim.
Is there another one?
All right, let's look for another one.
I thought there was another statue. No, there's not.
No, I don't see. No, none right here. Let's go around, looking around. If you sit on this fire, you get Odin's blessing. So that's cool. No statue here. And no statue. There's a chicken.
All right, okay.
Okay, sorry. Got distracted by the chicken. And then there's no Draker. And yeah, so
that's it. That's supposed to be Odin's statue.
Yeah.
Okay, let's read the next
So it's a fraud.
bit.
We just figured out that this saga is a fraud. It's not an authentic document because clearly, when we're in the game, there's no nose. So
Nosegate.
There we go. We figured it out.
All right, let's read the next part. The warrior invited Odin to join him by the fire. He poured him some ale and left to call for others. When Odin had already drained his goblet, the warrior came back with 5 more guests. They were all hiding their faces under their hoods. They were all armed, and there was a sense of concealed uneasiness coming from each of them. They sat by the fire, and Odin finally got a good look at their faces. Heimdall, Odin's son, was sitting the closest to him. Hod and Balder, a godly assassin and his victim, positioned themselves a bit farther, and a scald god was sitting next to them. He was holding a lute. Vidar, the god of vengeance, was waiting for Odin's speech.
Sorry. Keep going.
Even though his body no longer had any godly powers, it was seething with the thirst for revenge. Odin leaned closer to the fire and gestured to everyone to draw nearer. Munin sat on his shoulder, and Heimdall smiled at the raven. He asked where Hugin was, but received no reply.
What? They
that?
did.
They
the
did. They knew
artist.
what they were
I
doing.
take it back, artist. You're great. You're
And we
amazing.
know that it was Munin. Munin?
Yeah.
Munin. Okay. The time has come to talk about our return, Odin said, and then addressed Bragi. Play something. And he started playing a melody that kept outsiders from eavesdropping on their conversation.
Dun, dun, dun. The gods are coming back.
I knew it.
You were right. You nailed it, babe.
I did.
Okay, but what I was laughing at is Hod and Balder.
Oh,
Hod,
yeah.
Hod is not a godly assassin.
No.
Balder was his victim. They were brothers.
Tricked by Loki into killing Balder.
Okay, I'm the expert here. I was going to say that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. So basically, Balder was Odin's favorite, like crazy favorite. And they were like, oh, he's the best, and creating jealousy. And Hod was his little brother, and Loki was jealous of Balder. And so Loki convinced Hod, who was, I wouldn't, maybe mentally challenged, but definitely like just all beef, no brains, like zero brains.
Got it.
And so he convinced, he knew that Balder had been blessed in a way that he could not be damaged by anything except one thing. I forget what it was. It was like a pine cone or something. It was something really strong. It was like some kind of wood or something.
Yeah.
No. Maybe it was rope. I don't know. Anyways, Loki makes a dart out of that material. Or something like that. And basically convinces Hod to throw it at Balder because everyone was basking in his ability to never die.
Got it.
And so Hod does it and kills Balder
dies.
and everyone's super sad because everyone loved Balder. He was just like the you know those people that are annoying because they're so perfect?
Right.
And then you can't really hate him though because when you get to know him you're like, okay, you're really amazing.
Yeah.
That's kind of how Balder was.
Got it.
And so everyone loved him. Loki didn't like him because he was his favorite, but he was also awesome. So he brought a lot of happiness, and so Loki
was like, well, I gotta kill him.
So Loki found a way to kill him, got caught. Another one of those things where Loki's just like people.
Man,
Loki really need counseling. And probably a straitjacket.
Probably. Okay, that's it. That's the last of the sagas.
Sweet. So we know that we get a little bit of a story of how we ended up getting immortality, how that was not hell. We didn't quite it still hasn't quite come out why we have immortality.
Yeah, I'm a little, the timeline's a little confusing.
My guess is that Odin has something to do with our immortality.
Got it.
But it could also be the Njords, that they have something to do with it.
Yeah.
Because we know it said that they knew why it was the case.
Yeah.
Them and the old man.
Yeah.
Knew things.
Why? Yeah.
And so I'm guessing we think the old man is Odin's, but the problem with that is he said he'd never return.
I still think it's Odin.
But it could still be him.
Because the old man never goes inside of Newheim. He sits right outside the gate.
Yeah. So anyways, the gods are back in town. And they're all minor gods. Like, they're not the big ones.
Yeah.
Thor and those guys
Freya.
are still in prison.
Right.
And we've got the B-roll, you know?
the B team.
The B team is meeting with Odin, the Allfather. He's definitely like A team coach. But all these other guys are B team. And but I just thought it was so funny when they said godly assassin because Hod was just a...
You gotta give him some,
Yeah.
I had to make him sound cool.
That had to make him sound cool. So that's it, guys. That is the storyline so far of Frostborn. When we get more, we will go back and do this commenting. Let us know in the comments, have you enjoyed us explaining Norse mythology in light of Frostborn's storyline? This is something we've been wanting to do for a while. We even kind of wrote up some scripts on explaining Norse mythology, and then we decided we didn't really know where to go. So this is cool that it gives us kind of a focus on how to talk about Norse mythology. We've got a lot more that we learned on our date nights, and so hopefully we'll be able to share that with you guys. But let us know. Also, huge shout out to Intrusion and Mad Ghost for getting us all of these pages, because this has been a crazy time in my life, and I have definitely not had time to grind for these books. So,
All right, guys.
we'll see you next time.